Hi, I'm Heather Dawson. It's a pleasure bringing you the best of California each week on our show. And this week, we're going green. So let's start off with a tour of headlines that made news around the state. In Fresno, going green is easier now that the city's solid waste division is partnering up with a local radio station to help give away free airtime to businesses who start a new recycling program. A bad deal. Sacramento, donating just $25 can reduce your carbon footprint. Log on to carboncounting.org to see how you can help. Sadly, you can still find litter along our streets, beaches, and even in our yards. But as Brent Weber tells us, there's an amazing effort being made to keep California beautiful, and it starts with our kids.
Today's teenagers are missing the message when it comes to keeping America beautiful.
Children have somehow obtained the idea that someone is always going to be there to pick up after them. It's probably, I'm a parent, I'm a mother, and I've probably been a little guilty of that with my own children, but my children do not litter.
The numbers are staggering when it comes to cigarette butts alone. 3 trillion butts were tossed around the world last year. More than 220,000 of them picked up in one day alone in California. The impact of litter has long-term effects and costs those kids, future taxpayers, dearly in many ways.
We sponsor over 900 cleanup events by volunteers all over the state and have picked up, millions of pounds or tons of trash, with our program.
Just think before you flink that butt.
Fall brings changing colors and cooler temperatures, and it also means that many of us are looking for ways to spice up our cooking with comfort foods and familiar fall flavors, all while balancing our busy schedules. Someone who knows a lot about cooking with a busy travel schedule is Food Network host Sunny Anderson, and we managed to catch up with her at the Extended Stay America mobile room at the New York City Wine and Food Festival.
I'm hanging out in my Extended Stay America room. We have transported a room inside the festival, mostly so all of my friends that hear me talk about coming to Extended Stay America when I'm on the road and hanging out and then cooking in my kitchen can see what I'm talking about. It's a real kitchen.
And with the change of the seasons, Sunny says it's easy to explore some new fall flavors.
The winter is coming. Fall flavors are here. You can work with a lot of seasonal fruits and vegetables, and that's what I love to tell people. Like when you go to the grocery store, instead of having a list of things you want to buy, just kind of show up and see what's on sale. It's usually stuff that's in season.
And fall and winter months may mean lots of business and holiday travel, so Sunny says take advantage of those supermarket shortcuts when preparing meals on the go.
When you're on the road, you kind of have to treat yourself like you're at home and super, super busy. And grocery stores know that you're busy, so don't be afraid of the store-bought shortcut. Why chop the onion when it's already pre-chopped for you? And you might, like me, a couple of times, you get a little embarrassed, like I'm buying things that are already kind of chopped or pre-marinated. But when you say to yourself, wait a minute, it's on the shelves because someone's buying it, it allows you not to feel so guilty that you're taking a shortcut. You're on the road, so buy the pre-chopped things. Buy some of the meats and the produce that are already pre-marinated for you. It's okay to do microwave, rice. It's okay to do just add water, things like that, because you're on the road and you still want to eat healthy.
And if you are on the road this fall and looking to whip up something that is quick and healthy, Sunny says a great place to start is with a grocery store rotisserie chicken.
So it's perfect when I'm on the road. I go to the grocery store, I just pick one of those up. I get some chicken breast out of that and shred it down. And then another store-bought shortcut that I love, David, is that bag of slaw. It's already got the red cabbage, the Savoy cabbage, everything already chopped up. And I make a really quick salad out of it, just some slaw, a little bit of mayo and sour cream that I add in here. And these recipes I've put together in an actual cookbook for Extended Stay America that you can get online at awayfromhomecooking.com. Log on, check out the rooms, and see what we're doing in our kitchen. Just a little bit of celery, some raisins, and then I love to just kind of go in and stir that up with some tongs. And then look at the salad right here. It goes perfect into some lettuce cups. And you're good to go, David. I can do all of this in my kitchen in Extended Stay America.
Looks really good. To get Sunny's quick chicken slaw recipe and many more, plus tips for cooking on the go, You can download Sunny's free cookbook, Away from Home Cooking, at awayfromhomecooking.com. I'm David Wiley for California Life.
Well, if you're old enough to remember 8 tracks, cassette tapes, or an old vinyl record, you'll understand how much the music industry has changed over the last several decades. In this week's business segment, Jennifer Quinones profiles one man's experience in the music industry and tells us it's his passion for music, his instinct to take chances, and good old-fashioned hard work that's made him a standout above the rest.
Technology in the last decade has forever changed the music industry. Now, more than ever, people have access to music that before was mainly controlled by large record companies. For smaller independent record labels and their lesser-known artists, it has become a dream come true.
Well, I couldn't have started my own company had it not been for the internet. It really allowed us to compete with the major labels and people with a lot more money. Now it's become a challenge because the economic system with MP3s and people downloading illegally, it's turned out to be as much of a challenge as it is a benefit.
Andy Factor is the founder and co-president of Everloving, an independent record label and management company. Before he started his own company in 2000, he was vice president of A&R at Virgin Records, developing and working with such artists as Ben Harper, Smashing Pumpkins, and Paula Abdul.
My first real exciting job was talent scout at Virgin Records in America. They were an English label that had just moved out here, and I had gotten a job in the mailroom and worked my way up into the creative department. I ended up working there for almost 13 years. Eventually, I hit the ceiling, more or less, from my growth there, so I went out and started my own company.
Listening to his gut instinct, Factor believed in one singer that had been passed over by big labels such as Virgin. That artist, Jack Johnson.
You gon' make it up next time. I know she knows it's not right.
After leaving Virgin in 1999, Factor and his new company financed Johnson's first album, Brushfire Fairy Tales.
We have always made music because we love it, and we think that what we hear are things that other people will enjoy. Doing it for myself, we get to see the result of our endeavors. Whether that succeeds or not is left to our own efforts and talent, and now we know where we stand given a day's work.
What's uppers?
With the Growlers, we have 7 young people who live together in a warehouse that tour in a converted biodiesel school bus and sleep on the bus. And economically, we couldn't afford to grow their careers if they weren't so able to rough it.
But it's not just the artist that needs to be willing to go the extra mile. Factor and his team follow that attitude as well. A commitment to hard work to maintain and promote the integrity of the music they believe in most is the goal. That seems to be the winning business plan Factor has stood by faithfully to successfully continue his business in the 21st century.
Being an entrepreneur is freeing and it allows you creative control, but it certainly requires you to be an accountant and a lawyer and a good executive people person. It requires you to invest in yourself and reinvest in yourself, or save vacations to grow your business, and that's a choice you make every day. It's definitely worth it. I've never had a better time, and I really appreciate everything I've learned, and I've built a successful career, fortunately. But it's not gotten easier, it's gotten harder. The music makes me love it, and the people I work with. I get to spend my days with such talented people who sing and play at a world-class level. I've never stopped appreciating that and being moved by it.
For California Life, this is Jennifer Quinones.
We're here in the heart of the Central Valley at Fiscalini Farms, home of the world's best cheddar.
The life of a dairy farmer is not just milking cows.
John Fiscalini's the dairy farmer making his mark by making remarkable cheese.
Here we actually make our own product and label it and then distribute it into stores ourselves.
From field to food, Fiscalini Farms has been an innovator in the industry for 4 generations.
We can trace our roots back to Switzerland to 1705 as dairy farmers and cheesemakers. And we've got a long tradition of making cheese. And it's really nice to be able to see where you've taken the product that starts out as milk can actually follow it to the grocery store with your label on it.
Grabbing a Fiscalini label means sinking your teeth into a cheese that will put you over the moon.
Well, we won a competition in London, England in 2007 that was for the world's best extra mature traditional cheddar. It was the first time that that trophy had ever left British soil in the 20-year history of the World Cheese Awards. So it's something we're really proud of. It was very humbling, quite honestly. It was a real experience. Good things happen to those who persist, I guess, but we were just tremendously overjoyed.
And good things continue to happen for Fiscalini Farms, acquiring a wall of awards from the capital to the Queen of Daytime.
We actually managed to make the O-list a year ago at Christmas time, and one of her 50 or 100 favorite products. So that was a very, again, I mean, that's a humbling experience when someone of that magnitude recognizes you and what you do.
Recognized all over the world, but what John's proud of most hits a little closer to home.
The most proud I am is the fact I've got 3 adult children who are all interested in coming back and working here on the dairy.
For nearly 1 century, this dairy farm has been decorated for their dedication, and it's no doubt that the cream will continue to rise to the top. Bringing you the best in California, from Modesto, I'm Monique Saltani.
Most new parents would agree raising a baby would be a lot easier if they came with an instruction book, but they don't. So most moms and dads turn to friends, relatives, books, and magazines for advice. In fact, a recent survey of pediatricians found that feeding baby is among the top concerns among new parents. And when it comes to feeding a newborn, it inevitably leads to the question of which is better, breastfeeding or formula.
Nutrition is so critical to giving your baby a great start in life. So moms want to know about breastfeeding and they want to know about formula feeding. Every mom can't breastfeed. We think that breast is best, but if you can't breastfeed or you choose not to, maybe you're going back to work soon or some other concern is competing, you can use formula, which is a great alternative to breast milk.
But for mothers who do feed their babies formula for whatever reason, it oftentimes brings up more questions, like which formulas are safe? Should I buy name brand formula or a store brand okay?
Formula is a very viable and healthy nutritional option for babies. And any formula is good for your baby. All formulas are regulated by the FDA. They all have to meet the same standards. So for example, some moms get sucked into the I gotta buy my baby a name brand formula, the designer formula. You don't have to do that. You can go with a store brand formula and you get the exact same nutritional benefits for your baby. But store brand formulas are a lot cheaper. So you save a lot of money if you go with the store brand versus the name brand.
And Dr. Lisa says besides nutritional values, babies tend to tolerate name brand and store brand formulas the same.
Nutritionally, there's no difference. The formulas are essentially giving the same benefits to the baby. And so you can move between store brand or name brand if you choose to. You can do what's cheapest. Babies tolerate formulas the same within categories. So for example, there may be a cow's milk-based formula, which is the one most people use. All cow's milk-based formulas are tolerated similarly. So you can switch between brands even week to week and not have any increased fussiness or gassiness or problems of bloating with your baby. And that's important for moms to know because they can buy what's on sale.
And while decisions about how and what to feed a baby can create anxiety in some moms, experts like Dr. Lisa say it's not a matter of breastfeeding or formula. Parents can easily combine the two to give baby all the nutrition they need.
If a mom is nursing and either doesn't feel that she's getting enough milk into her baby or is going to be gone for a while and doesn't want to pump, you can use formula to supplement breast milk, and that's absolutely fine as well.
To learn more about baby formula and to get some special offers and coupons, you can go to storebrandformula.com. I'm David Wiley for California Life.
The weight loss industry is raking in billions each year from those wanting to look great. And with so many options, it's hard to know which one is best. But coming to the rescue are 2 Beverly Hills doctors who are pioneering a brand new approach to removing stubborn body fat. And with the help of one couple, they're going to show us how it works. To many, Jenny Bruce would be considered a physically fit woman. And for the most part, she would agree. But while she and her husband Gary had been consistent at staying in shape, they realized their efforts just weren't enough.
I eat really well and I exercise about 4 times a week, but there was just that little spot that I could do nothing about. It was always there, and every time I would sit down in my jeans, I'd feel it.
For the 70% of Americans who fall into the overweight or obese category, that little spot Jenny refers to may not seem like a big deal. But as a marketing executive, Jenny has to be mindful of both her health and appearance.
She's the perfect candidate for this. She actually wouldn't be a candidate for the other ones that are available on the market because she doesn't have that much to begin with. This is more of a defining sort of sculpting case.
Dr. Jason Emmer is talking about the latest in fat removal technology. It's called UltraShape. The FDA approved it earlier this year, and it's for those who don't want invasive treatments like surgeries or liposuction. Together, Dr. Emmer, along with Dr. David Amaran, are helping a growing number of people like Jenny achieve their desired results.
It's about looking at a person's body and making a determination of where they are disproportionate. And that's really more of a genetic thing. There's so-called stubborn areas.
UltraShape is a great solution for those areas that are simply resistant to diet and exercise. But it's not only fantastic for women, it's also a great idea for men like Gary Bruce.
I know that men tend to be a little bit more private about these types of things, but the reality is it's a very simple procedure, and the results are quick. And I can't think of any diet or exercise that'll promise those types of results.
Results that Gary will begin seeing in as little as 2 weeks. This type of success and UltraShape's growing popularity can also be credited to the doctor's tag team approach. They first provide the patients with a pre-treatment evaluation, then the preparation for the treatment, and finally the procedure itself. UltraShape uses ultrasound waves to blast away the fat deposits, only getting rid of the fat cells, leaving intact other body structures like the skin and blood vessels.
How are you doing, Gary?
Great, thank you, doctor.
Any discomfort?
None at all.
It's cool technology, isn't it?
It is very cool. It doesn't feel like anything.
Although both husband and wife will benefit from the UltraShape procedure, when it comes to different body types like theirs, the doctors always tailor their approach. How is your consulting different for someone who may be a size 3 and works out all the time as opposed to someone who doesn't work out quite as often? How does your consulting change from person to person?
Because we sort of had that expertise, we do a lot of patients, we have a lot of different technologies. Someone will come in and say, I want one specific area, maybe it's their stomach.
On the other hand, you might have somebody who is overweight and out of shape and not working. Now, certainly that person has to do their part and to lose weight, diet, and exercise. But this technology target their stubborn areas and correct them, and many times make such an improvement that it gets them on the right track to doing their part of things. I see it over and over again in my practice, where by correcting the disproportion first, the stubborn areas, that person is so much more motivated to do their part in things and then get on the right track.
With 30 years combined medical experience, these doctors really are the experts at knowing the best avenues to achieve the greatest results for their patients.
The technology is so specific and so focused, it has almost no risk to any patient, and the results are the fastest I've ever seen. So in terms of quick recovery, fast results, not being expensive and having no pain, it's probably the best thing that's out there.
UltraShape exceeded my expectations. I was a little nervous coming in, and it was so painless and so easy and so quick, and I could already tell the results are going to be unbelievable. So I'm really excited to come back for the second treatment.
It was a half an hour of my life, and now I'm gonna have, the bikini body I've been working so hard for in the gym after, 3 of these treatments. So I'm really excited.
In Beverly Hills, I'm Tiffany Carter for California Life.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, just go to our website, californialifehd.com. We'll see you next time.